Hi, I'm Heather Cole with Lodestar Solutions, and a lot of clients are looking at should they move to the TM1 Cloud, or new clients looking at TM1 are trying to figure out should they do an on-premise solution like TM1 Enterprise or TM1 Express, or a cloud version of TM1 that's a software as a service. So today I'm going to go through things you should know. First off, I wanted to put my little disclaimer. This is ever changing. IBM keeps improving and adding more services and more benefits to clients. So this information is based on what was currently available at the time of recording. It's always subject to change and is not to be construed as advice, legal advice, or otherwise, purely as a reference to you. Now, we'd be happy to have specific conversations with you about your environment and help advise you on your options so you can make an educated choice in whether you need TM1 Cloud or an on-prem solution. First, we want to clarify that TM1 Cloud is a SaaS offering, software as a service, which is a software delivery model. Basically, it's when the software is actually owned and managed by IBM remotely. It's in IBM's environment. The benefit is that the customer does not need to own the servers or the software. It's kind of like renting it. It's delivered from a shared infrastructure. One-to-many delivery, meaning there's other clients on the same hardware as you, and that's how it's scalable. It's licensed on a subscription basis, usually with a multi-year contract, and the contract will designate how often it's billed, whether it's monthly, quarterly, annually, or prepaid. Note that the implementation in a SaaS TM1 Cloud offering is basically the same as if you were having an on-prem solution. You would hire a consulting firm or IBM or do it in-house to implement the software. So those costs are pretty much the same with the exception of the technical consulting dollars. I want to make sure that everyone understands the three different options that you can have for TM1. The first one is TM1 Onpremise. This is where you would purchase either TM1 Enterprise or TM1 Express as an on-premise solution. You would actually install that in your own hardware, and you would be responsible for all the upgrades. The client in an on-prem solution buys the license rights. It's a capital asset to the client. Now, some of our clients buy the on-premise solution, whether it's Express or Enterprise, but they want to put it in a managed service environment like an Amazon Cloud or a TM1 Cloud. Note, that's still considered an on-premise licensing model. You just decided to outsource that infrastructure. You're still going to need to do the upgrades yourself or hire a consultant to do it. With the on-premise solution, you would purchase the license and you would get an annual support bill. Versus the TM1 Cloud, you would just get a monthly bill. Note, the implementations is completed by the client or hired consultants like Lodestar or IBM. In both solutions, whether they be on-premise or in the TM1 Cloud, you're going to want to have some consultants help you get up to speed and really learn the solution set. Now, the one difference here is that in the TM1 Cloud, you would not have the install consulting fees, the technical consulting fees, that would be automatically handled by IBM. Let's review some of the benefits of moving to a TM1 Cloud solution. There's no need for hardware. You would be able to utilize a cloud environment and not need to purchase servers. It reduces the dependency on IT resources for the installs, upgrades, and backups because, again, IBM would be handling that for you. It ensures that you're compliant with your licenses because they will be monitoring your license count, and you don't have to have that extra responsibility to make sure that you don't accidentally go over your user counts. Note that it's not a capital expense, rather an operational expense, and depending on your situation, that may be beneficial to you. The differences in the cloud and on-prem solution include that the performance modeler, the Cognos Insight, and the architect all are going to be accessed via a remote desktop. So you're going to remote into IBM's environment. That should give you better WAN performance. Customers will be able to install the Cognos Insight module, which is a desktop application, via the application portal. This is operating in distributed mode only. Now, Cognos analysis for Excel, which is called Cafe, will be used by the client to do ad hoc analysis in Excel on the cloud. Note, there's no perspectives. If you're a current TM1 client, you love perspectives, your end users will not have perspectives. A big consideration that you need to know is the data source integration is limited to a file upload via an FTP, which you can automate if you purchase the Cognos Command Center. So you can automate that process, but there's no ODBC connections like you're used to if you're an older TM1 on-prem client. TM1 Cloud has limited BI capabilities, and only if you own Concert Cloud. BI is limited only to TM1 data. If you have outside data that you wanted to bring in to some of your dashboards and so forth, that will not be possible at this time. Now, this is all subject to change because IBM's really improving this on a weekly, daily basis. Our enterprise solution has near real-time integration with enterprise BI, so that might be a consideration that kind of sways you in one direction or the other. Note, there's no TM1 Cloud integration with SPSS at this time. The licensing for the cloud is very similar to the on-prem, with the exception of we do not have the analytics server component. We simply have the TM1 performance management user in the cloud, which is the monthly fee, and that's your end user. We also have the performance management modeler. That's your power user. That's the person that's going to design and build your models. And the prices are based on tiers. So the more users you have, the cheaper it is per user. Note, it does have an overage clause in the contract. So what happens is if you accidentally added more users to your system, you're going to be charged for that. And there's going to be a slight premium on that. You're probably wondering, how is the cloud delivered? It's hosted by IBM SoftLayer that has 17 data centers today, primarily in Washington, D.C., and a backup in San Jose. The IBM Cloud team maintains the environment. You guys don't have to worry about upgrades or backups. Now, it's a single-tenant virtual environment in a multi-tenant physical infrastructure. What does that mean? It means that the box itself has multiple clients sharing it, but your data is completely separated from other users on that same box by a separate instance. You'll get up to 64 gigs of RAM and 8 core processors. Now, some of you are going to say, whoa, that's not big enough for me, or I don't want my data that close to someone else. I need to have it private. I need my own private cloud. That is an option. It's called a single tenant, and it is at a premium price. It will give you your own environment and up to 512 gigs of RAM and 40 cores of processing.
To learn more about this topic, or to gain access to our private training videos concerning preparation, considerations, and tips on moving from Cognos Planning to TM1, please visit and register at movetotm1.com. Once you register with your name and email, you'll receive an immediate response which contains a link which you must click to be officially registered. Please note that if you didn't receive this immediate response, it may have fallen into your spam folder. Once you click that link to get officially registered, you'll receive back an email which contains the access link for the exclusive library of videos from Lodestar Solutions. If you would like to contact Lodestar Solutions directly, feel free to email us at sales@lodestarsolutions.com.